Black Sheep back.
Welcome back to episode 19 of the Black Sheep Narrative.
Yeah.
It's an early episode. Let's go.
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock in the morning right now.
Mhm.
So we decided we're not going to have any liquor today.
Yeah.
Plus, I drank like a lot last night.
Who
Too.
decided that? I didn't get a vote in this.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
I just figured
I'm
you
good.
would.
No, I'm good.
I can break it out.
Yeah.
I keep an extra bottle in the truck just in case.
Just in case. That's good. Good idea. Just if we fall back in our old ways.
Yeah.
Kidding. We've never changed.
That's true. Oh man. So how's the week been?
Week's been good. Staying busy. We had the competition last weekend, powerlifting meet. That was our first competition meet at the gym ever, which is cool. First WRPF meet ever in the history of Idaho, so that was cool.
In the history of Idaho.
Yeah. Okay. So new federation, not new in a sense that it just came about. It's been around for a decade, 2 decades, maybe even more. I don't know the history of it. Anyways.
So what's the difference between them and USAPL?
So there's really 4-ish big ones. The 3 big ones is USAPL, USPA, and now the WRPF. It used to be the USAPL and then the USPA. Everyone wanted to go to the USAPL because it used to be that if you could win the USAPL or win nationals, you could get a ticket to the International Powerlifting Federation and compete in worlds for the US or whatever country you were competing for. The last year, the IPF ruled that because of drug testing, something along those lines, the USAPL is now not affiliated with the IPF. So now you can't compete for worlds with the USAPL. But I don't really, I used to compete in the USAPL. It was okay. Like the meets were okay. There was some hype. Like it was fun because they had military nationals, and that was a pretty fun meet because you were against all military personnel. But I started going to like USPA meets, and I was like, oh shit, this is like way more fun, you know? And I started competing for the USPA, and just the atmosphere and the things that they could do for the meets. I don't know if the USAPL like constricts what the federation or the meet directors can do, but it just wasn't as fun and as lively. Like it feels like I'm going to a fucking golf match. Like just clap. Like I don't know. It just wasn't fun for me. So I went to the USPA. We all kind of switched over to the USPA. USPA, you can use a deadlift bar. There's a couple different other rules versus the USAPL. But then the scandal came out about the USPA that there were supposed to be background checks for refs and meet directors brought down by the federation. Well, there was documents leaked that the president of the federation knew that background checks weren't being conducted, and that there were certain individuals that were sex offenders that were meet directors and judges and refs. And there's a lot of, under 18 kids, children, teenagers that are competing against, and all people really were asking for was, hey, we need something to happen to this federation. Like the president needs to step down because this is that's horrible. Like, and there needs to be some changes. Well, it was kind of back and forth. And finally, we just decided that nothing is going to change in this federation. And all of the big meet directors, the fun meet directors that really put on the fucking most awesome shows in the USPA moved over to the WRPF. So we said, fuck it. And there was like a mass exodus to the WRPF. And Chris Huffman, who is the owner of Volition Fitness, ended up taking upon himself to get blessed off to be a meet director. And it isn't no fucking easy feat, to do that. It's thousands of dollars that you're putting into. And there was no one out here in Idaho that was running WRPF meets, and you have to get refs too. And there was like Salt Lake City has WRPF, but you have to fly in refs to get other ref. Like I just got blessed off to be a ref for the WRPF, but you need level 2 judges, refs to fly up here. And that's hard to do because of their time. So we finally ended up getting it all together. We ran it. And I think it was the first time in Idaho history. I can't think of another meet that we had $1,000 cash prize for the best lifter.
Yeah.
Which isn't that hard to do. It's just that there's a lot of directors that are making money off of this shit.
Yeah, they're putting the money in their own pocket.
Yes, and it's frustrating because I've had conversations with certain meet directors that have told me flat up, like straight out, hey, I do this because I want to make money.
Yeah.
Around this area.
Rather
And
than
it's
for the
fucking
sport.
frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I talked to Chris a long time and he's like, dude, we're not doing this. I'm not doing this for the fucking money. Like he spent $5,000 out of his pocket to fucking just buy stuff that we needed for the meets. And he pays all the refs and spotters and loaders. Like a lot of meets don't pay the
they're
fucking
for
spotters and
volunteers.
loaders. They're like, hey, you want to
Yeah.
get a cool t-shirt and you just want to get free food? And it's like fucking 10 hours out of their day, dude. And that's not an easy feat. Like they're fucking sweating their ass off,
Yeah.
working hard, and they ain't getting
Switching
shit,
plates.
dude.
Yep.
So shout out to Chris because he fucking crushed, and shout out to all of Volition Fitness and Iron Legacy, all the volunteers to them. But like, dude, our spotters and loaders got $200 each.
Oh wow. Yeah.
We busted it out we started at 9 o'clock and we ended at 3:30.
Yeah.
Boom. Like first meet ever that we all ran together, and it went
that's badass.
smooth. And like, so
they do the weigh-ins the night before.
Yeah. And that's also a big difference is like with the USAPL, you have to weigh in the day of, which is kind of fucking ridiculous, dude.
I agree.
But yeah, you can weigh in 24 hours prior. So we had
where most people, like most sports, are that way now. Like fighting, boxing, UFC, wrestling. It's always the day before.
I don't understand. Like, okay, there's gonna like be water cuts and that kind of stuff, and I don't know if the USAPL is like, we just want people to be at their weight class where they should be. But sometimes it gets fucking dangerous, and I want people to actually perform because if you're cutting down that low, because like I compete in the 181s, and there's people that cut down from 200 to get down there, and I knew people in the USAPL that would cut down from 200 to get down there the day of. You weigh in, and then you're supposed to try to rehydrate within 2 hours.
See people getting food, they're pushing food down, they're pushing water in,
and then their performance suffers.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, I just want to see some heavy lifts on the platform. Yeah, that's also another frustrating part about it. But yeah, we have 24-hour weigh-ins, so we had.
What about like the no snort and shit like that?
Ammonia?
Yeah, ammonia.
USAPL allows it. You have to be behind the curtain to do it. The WRPF, they don't like, you can't do it on the platform, obviously, but like if you're in front of the curtain, like you can do it. And like you're not supposed to like slap people in front of the curtain and stuff like that. But WRPF, it's like it's a show. Yeah, that's a part of the culture, really.
Yeah, I was shocked because the USAPL, they're always like, hey, can you bring in the UXO banner so we need a place for the people to snort the the ammonium, and to get the slaps behind. So it's like, what's happening because you hear them, you hear the slaps
screaming,
smack, and then they come walking out from behind the thing. It's like, come on, dude, like, a show. You're right though. The USAPL, it's like their events have become kind of ho hum. They're kind of boring.
It's like,
and I know, like you said, even the money piece of it, like. We had Captain America lifts, Justin Rogers. He left USAPL because he won one competition. I think he got it was a big one.
Yeah,
he got like $1,000 cash.
And that's a big one. Like we're doing local meets with $1,000 cash, and that was the beginning.
I think he went to IPF or whichever one because then he could win like 25,000.
Yeah,
and it's there needs to be more money needs to be put back into the sport to draw the real competition,
Agreed. And that's why I think what we're doing is important, because it opens people's eyes to be like, dude, there are meet directors that are just pocketing this shit and they're not doing it for the right reasons, and like I get it, like pocketing it because you are putting money into it and you can make a little bit of money, but like you can put the majority of that money back into the lifting and the venue and doing cool shit, but like usually these people, there's a lot of old heads in it, and there's a lot of new heads that are coming up, which is fucking awesome. But the old heads have kind of stuck in their ways, and it's kind of cool that we're kind of breaking down the door to be like, we just put on our first fucking meet and we just threw $1,000 cash to the first person, to the best lifter, and then Until Death put in, like we gave the best lifter was a male, so we ended up giving $50 for each squat, bench, and deadlift for the biggest squat, bench, and dead, both male and female. And then it's cool that I can say this now, but UXO Until Death, we're going to be a part of the strongman comp coming up in May. Well, we just got fucking we just got blessed off last week. We came together And we were all excited after the meet because we were like, okay, what's next? Like, we need to step it up now. We just did our, little local meet. Like, what's next? And we're like, what happens if we fucking see if we can get blessed off to do the WRPF meet and the USS Strongman meet together at the expo? Ooh. So we pushed it to the federation and they approved it. So we are going to do side by side a WRPF meet, powerlifting, and the strongman meet.
Let's go
at the expo, which is going to be fucking sick.
UXO, I don't know if we can throw cash at it, but yeah, we'll throw in some products for the winners and stuff like that. That'd be badass.
Well, we'll have vendors, so you're going to be.
Yeah, we'll be there.
UXO will be.
But I'm just figuring, like, we'll also do like we'll throw in the pot for the prize winners too, so they get some product on top of the cash.
Yes,
fucking badass.
So we're fucking really excited about that because I don't know. Yeah. I know East Idaho. There has been a couple meets, and I don't know if they've been sanctioned. Like, there have been meets here in Boise where it's been like a powerlifting meet, but they haven't been sanctioned, and then like a strongman meet that has been sanctioned. And the problem with sanctioned meets or unsanctioned meets is you don't get to, your records or whatever you put up don't really get pushed up to Open Powerlifting, which is the record keeping not forum but website. And if it's not blessed off by a federation, they don't put up your shit. So there's a lot of people that are hesitant to go into an unsanctioned meet to be like, what? It doesn't really matter. So I think this is the first time we have 2 sanctioned meets side by side, the strongman and the powerlifting. And that will be in May at North Expo Center.
Let's go.
Which is going to be fucking sick, dude. And we got a Brandon Bear Tattoo is going to be there. We're going to be giving out tattoos, like not giving out tattoos, but we're doing like, they're going to have a booth that you can get tattooed. They're going to have like a flash, like a lifting flash sheet. So you can pick a tattoo that you want to get and get tattooed like there. We have
like a flat. So they're doing flash tattoo sale, like
flash tattoos, but it's going to be lifting.
Lifting type.
Yeah, tattoos. But you can also, I don't know, he hasn't said yet. Ryan hasn't said yet, but
give me a silhouette of like a dude just deadlifting that around my forehead.
Yeah. But and then you guys will be there. Until Death will be there. We got a couple.
Get some big ones.
Yeah, we'll get some other people. But this is the first time I've talked about it because we just got blessed off on Friday. And then I just got the artwork back from my boy. So we have the poster and artwork ready. So we're ready to push.
Is that the one with the alien? I love it.
But dude, we did a flip of it. We did a flip of it for the powerlifting meet, dude. So we have Mars Attacks for the strongman meet, where it's like, if you've ever seen the movie Mars Attacks, it's the aliens attacking like a primitive civilization, like an Egyptian civilization. So we did a flip of that, of the US is now attacking Mars, and it's like astronauts attacking Mars.
Badass.
So that will be the powerlifting.
Who did the
his name's Daniel. He's out of Germany. But he does, like, if you've ever heard of Ghost Equipment or Ghost Strong, he does all the artwork for them. So that's where I found him. Dude of Death, that's what his Instagram handle is, but he's done the majority of our lifting meat stuff. So but he kills it on artwork. So yeah, I just got it back this morning. So we're gonna post about it on Monday tomorrow. That registration will be open, and we're doing, for powerlifting meet, we're doing drug tested and untested. So drug tested and untested. Yeah. So if you fucking push in, you can come.
Yeah,
and
if
you're not, yeah, exactly. And then for strongman, and that caps at 45, and we'll sell out for sure on that, because I think our pot was $1,000. I think we're pushing for double or triple that for this one. For best lifter. So hopefully we'll definitely get 2K for the best lifter, but I want to push for like 3K for the best lifter, which is, it's a nice chunk of change just to come to a local meet and lift.
Yeah. Lift your heaviest.
Yeah.
Do it. Cool. Man, I'm excited. Yeah, that'll be a big event.
Yeah, because I'm excited as well, because this is what the lifters deserve, is this kind of stuff. And it's just a local meet, man. Like, I don't know. It would get people excited. We can get people to Boise, because I know that there was some rumblings. I put some feeders out for other people, some big lifters, and they were like, dude, if you're giving out like $2,000. Yeah, I'll fucking come up and live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. And check out Idaho out. So
we got some comments.
Yeah, let's hear it from the last podcast.
Yeah, those in our stories. So here's an interesting one.
Let's hear it.
Start with this one.
Yeah.
Red Cherry 8137. Thank you for commenting. But this is in regards to us talking about like, hey, when's it right to take home leftovers from Thanksgiving? You had mentioned like your experience with people showing up with Tupperware to take stuff.
Yeah, they never brought anything.
Yep. So Red Cherry here in the comments, you're mad that less fortunate family took home leftovers that were 100% going to get thrown out. I guess. Okay. They automatically know you're throwing out, I guess.
Yeah.
And after going bad in your fridge. No, wait, you're mad they didn't have money to bring food.
There's a lot of assumptions made here. I never said that my cousins were unfortunate. Actually, they were pretty fortunate. They were all retired. That's what the interesting part was, is because they never brought shit and they had money to bring stuff. But they brought fucking drinks and Tupperware, and that was it. So yeah, I never said that. 100% gonna get thrown out. I don't think I've ever thrown out Thanksgiving leftovers.
Like, I get mad at my kids because like my son, he refuses to eat leftovers, and so he gets pissed like when we make like more than enough food, not just Thanksgiving, anytime. Yeah, and it's like, dude, we got leftovers, so that's what we're having tonight. And he'd be like, I'm just gonna make ramen, and he gets all pissed off, and it's like, I'm not throwing this fucking food out.
Yeah,
like, that's money.
Yeah,
right. So yeah, that's a heavy assumption that they're 100% gonna get thrown
throwing
out.
A lot of words in my mouth. Yeah, it's funny. It sounds like you were bringing the Tupperware over for your family. You're one of those Thanksgiving motherfuckers.
That's kind of what it sounds like. Huh? They're defensive because they're the Tupperware bringer.
They're the Tupperware guy.
Red Cherry.
Damn.
Dang.
Yeah.
You may need to rethink your holiday strategy, Red Cherry. All right. Let's see what else we got. We got Mama Fitness Coaching. Oh boy, from cheese to Chinese testing. Talking about the dildos.
Yeah, dude, that
escalated quickly. Very interesting discussion, insights, and personal talks to talk about being a small business in the industry. That resonated a lot. Thanks for the sucralose rant too. Yep. Dude, I still, to this day, we still have people harping on us for using sucralose, but they don't really understand how sucralose works. They're just going off of some fucking influencer's 10-second video that they saw without really looking into the studies. And that's the most frustrating thing is people, oh, so-and-so, and he's got 1 million followers, so what he said must be true. But when you actually break down the sucralose gut microbiome bullshit, like the data is heavily skewed. And so am I here saying that it's safe for you? Not necessarily. Am I here saying it's not safe for you or vice versa? I feel there just needs to be more studies done, but we can't jump into the conclusion and say sucralose is bad for you based on the data that we have now. But here's the other thing that's trippy to me, and it drives me absolutely nuts. So people are demonizing sucralose, right? You should be using stevia. But why are they not calling out the studies on stevia that show that it affects the gut microbiome? Like there's studies out there that show stevia affects the gut microbiome just as much, if not more, than the studies on sucralose. But yet sucralose is being demonized because it's an artificial sweetener.
Yeah.
Where's all the fucking ranting about stevia?
I don't know.
It's not fucking happening.
Is it because these fucking influencers haven't taken up the stevia back, you know?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just feel like it's because it's an artificial sweetener, and so people want to attack it.
Yeah.
You know, it's whatever. Adam Chandler, 2045. So really good episode. It was great to get to learn who Darren is outside of Caged authentically is someone heavily lacking in this. Authentically is something heavily lacking in the sports nutrition and ambassador space. Proud to have Darren leading the change at Caged. So obviously this guy's with Caged. Yeah, dude, Darren's a stellar guy. Like we said, that's the cool thing is like in this industry, you get to meet people that are really cool and people you appreciate. And then there's a lot of shitheads that you just learn to avoid.
Yeah. Especially the backstory, right? Because you put people up on a pedestal or you see people just on Instagram or social media and you think they're one way, you know, this is their, not a front, but it's like, this is what they push out of their persona on social media, and then they're might be totally different than what you thought they were, right?
Right.
Like outside of it.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, I think Darren's just the same guy regardless. Like if you follow his social media, he's always kind of just a fun happy-go-lucky guy, and that's just kind of who he is. And yeah, I appreciate it. Eric Gagnon, 79. Great episode into the workings of Caged. Amazing company, amazing people. Great job, boys. Well, hey, thank you. We appreciate you, Eric.
Yes.
Tune in for more, buddy. Let's see. Oh, Spencer Lynn's back in the comments. Best episode yet, boys. Boise Fit Expo, Ruck 100 2.0. I'm there for it. We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Figure out a way one way or another.
Yeah.
Like I think your next powerlifting / strongman meet.
Like, yeah.
This will be huge.
I think so.
This could open the doors for like let's get Boise Fit Expo back on the map.
I think it's a step in the right direction for sure.
100%. Let's make it huge.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in again, Spencer. We appreciate you. And then Stiggs McQueen back in the comments section too. This he's all over it. Love the discussion regarding how different supplement companies are run, appeal to different customers, etc. The fact that UXO and Cage don't view each other as competitors makes sense. Yep. I think, we still are competitors to a degree, but I feel that, in this space, like I don't know if you would feel Tattooed and Successful as a competitor in the apparel space, right? And they're a local company. You kind of respect what they're doing. They're doing different things than you, right? They're attacking a different demographic. And we've been like lately, branding has been on my mind a lot lately, like personal branding, the company branding, what we stand for, and taking a look like we're going to be going a completely different direction than Caged. Where I feel like we are a little bit similar, but I never viewed them as competition. I viewed us as a product that would complement them. But yeah, we're going to be completely opposite here in the very near future.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm not going to go too deep into
it. No, we'll keep it to when that occurs, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah. That's it. That's it for comments. So this episode, we're just kind of rambling. We don't have much for you guys, but we have some good guests coming on here shortly. But I'll tell you what, dude. So like yesterday, I fucking woke up 8 o'clock in the morning because I had a photo shoot.
Okay.
Had a photo shoot out at 3D at 9 a.m. We were supposed to be out there. So I woke up at 8 a.m. on a Saturday, mind you.
Yeah.
After a long night of drinking.
Hustler.
And I wake up to a text message that says, man, I'm just tired. I'm not coming. I fucking about lost my mind. So I want to go on a little bit of a rant on here because I'll tell you what, like if dude, like when we do a photo shoot, like people may see us, like we do photos, whatever. Those are just photos that we may do for like an Instagram story. When we do full on photo shoot, like that's lighting, that's everything. Like we get everything set up. So I'm taking time out of my day. With me being a small business owner, that means that, you want to talk to customer service? Like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Right? You want to talk to the social media guy, the director of social media? Hey, how are you?
Hold on. Let me put my hat. Let me take this off.
Dude, hello. You want to talk to the photographer? Here I am. Right. So I wear every fucking hat right now, which has saved us a lot of money, and that allows us to continue to grow. Eventually that'll fucking change. But that means in the meantime, when I set up a fucking photo shoot, there's groundwork that goes into it, from me reaching out to 3D, coordinating with them, making sure that they're cool, backing up all the lighting gear, making sure that we have it ready to go the next day, and then taking time out of my day. Right. So, but that just the setup, like that's time out of my fucking schedule to get that shit done. It's time I could be spent doing other shit. Right. So if you schedule a fucking photo shoot with me or you agree to it, I don't care. Like emergencies happen. That's fine. But if it's just like, oh, I'm tired, I just can't fucking do it. Don't expect I'm going to call you back for another fucking photo shoot. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like if stuff happens, maybe because normally we schedule the photo shoots like a week in advance. Usually I set Tuesdays aside, like, hey, let's schedule out our social media for the next week. And we try and make shit happen. So if you give me a 24-hour notice, cool, whatever. But when it's the morning of, like 15 minutes before, half hour before, there's nothing more frustrating to me.
Well, and it's also a weekend, like, dude,
right?
Like, it's not like you only fucking work until like 7 or 8 o'clock at night during the weekdays. usually, right? And then it's like, okay, like the only time you have with your family is the weekends, and you hardly get that because you're still working on the weekends usually. 100%. But like
it's Sunday and we're here podcasting,
yeah.
right? And so that's the deal, is like, then they don't think about, so Saturdays, if my wife's like, hey, you want to go do this? Hey, can't, sorry, got a photo shoot scheduled.
I got this planned.
Like, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna be there. But there's nothing more frustrating, guys. So don't do that. And always take into account, like, if you are working with a small business, you got to think of their needs too, right? Then, so anyways, we took the opportunity. It's like, cool, whatever, they canceled. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
We got leaves to do. So we raked leaves for like 4 hours. And this is what I don't get, right? Like, we go to the gym for 2 hours a day. I don't know. How long do you go?
Yeah, about then. Hours, hour and a half. 2 hours.
Yeah.
So in that
window. Yeah. And you lift thousands of pounds of weight in a session.
Yeah.
In one session, it's thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
Right. So doing leaves, I don't get it. I'm lifting leaves.
Yeah.
And my back is so fucking sore. Like, halfway through it, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
My back's all locked up on me. I'm just like, oh God, this fucking sucks. How is that?
I don't, dude. I mean, you're right about it.
Have you been there?
Yeah, no, I have been in that situation that you're like, dude, I can just lift. I can fucking deadlift X amount of pounds, but you do some manual labor shit, and you're like, then you think of those motherfuckers that are construction workers.
Yeah,
like,
the manual laborers out there just
damn, the fucking roofers just on the fucking roofs, just like, and then they still go to the gym.
Yeah,
that's what's fucking
Jimmy
crazy,
Decker,
dude.
Who's on our team. He's a mover, so he moves heavy furniture all day long.
Big motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, and I think he's in the gym getting it at night. And I'm like, kudos to him. But yeah, it just makes me feel like a bitch. I'm like, why is that? I don't get it. Like today, I woke up, I get out of bed to come do this podcast. Oh fuck, man.
Yeah,
my lower back's sore as fuck.
Yeah,
more sore than it's ever been before. Like, how is that possible?
Moving leaves, dude. Raking leaves.
I don't get it. So I just don't know if it's like a placebo effect or what, but it drives me mad.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like we move the gym every week now. Like, but last week was just fucking madness because we had to move 2 gyms essentially. Mm-hmm. We had to move Volition's equipment into ours, and then we had to move our equipment around
out of the way. And
dude, that whole weekend, I think I was tired. I'm still tired from that weekend.
I bet.
Dude, what have I become? Like, I turned 30. I'm fucking smoked.
Like, moving all that heavy equipment, that's a lot of fucking weight.
Yeah. I guess when you get into leave moving, it's a little bit different.
Doesn't make any sense.
I'll tell you what. So Alex and Carly, who's on UXO, they're getting ready for, I think it's America's Strongest State. Mm-hmm. I think that's the competition name, which is going to be fucking sick. So Team Idaho, they're on this strongman team, and they're going to be competing,
against,
I think,
in other states,
against the Western states first. And if they win against Western states,
they go to nationals.
Which they got some fucking crazy strong motherfuckers on Team Idaho, which is going to be awesome to see. But
Carly's like the head coach, right?
It's team? Yeah, it's Carly, Derek, Bailey, Dom, and Alex.
Yeah, all strong motherfuckers.
Dude, crazy strong.
And Bailey, and is Alex pro?
Alex is pro.
All right, so you got Alex.
Yep.
Carly and Bailey, all three pro
strong man and women. I don't think Dom is, and Derek's not yet, at least, but he's getting there.
Yeah,
getting close.
Strong ass,
but dude,
country strength,
dude. It's fucking ridiculous, and that's what like I don't. It's interesting, this bubble that we live in Boise, how many strong people there are in this little bubble.
Yeah,
like I've been around at different places. I grew up in Pittsburgh, and like, I don't know. I think if you lived here, you don't understand just how the amount of fucking strong and like bodybuilders we have, physique people. Like, it's pretty fucking nuts in this little, small bubble.
It's interesting because we've had, I've had people come in from outside of town and tell me like, God damn, like, it's like, you motherfuckers are strong here in Idaho, or else I've even had people tell me, I was like, man, like you're a city of beautiful people. Like,
that's
where
cool.
they're like, it seems like everybody here is just really into fitness. And for the most part, they're like, yeah, you go back to where I live. Like, I had a person from Portland, like, it's just a bunch of fat asses, lazy people. And I have no idea,
Yeah, there is a lot of in shape people. Like, if you walk around, there is a lot of comparative to like, I go back home in Pittsburgh. It's like, oh God.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I've never really noticed, you know?
But anyways, they have a sandbag medley that they have to do.
That's the
and
worst.
I think the heaviest sandbag we have at ILB, I think it was like 300 pounds.
Oh my God.
So Alex had to buy a 350-pound sandbag.
Yeah.
From service. And it's funny because the sandbags don't come loaded. They just send you a bag.
Yeah.
And dude, this bag is $200 just for the bag.
Yeah.
And you have to load it yourself. So Alex comes to me on fucking, what was it, Thursday or Friday. He's like, hey man, I got the bag. Like I just bought fucking sand. Like we got to load this shit. And he had 10 bags of sand that we have to load in this shit. And I'm like, okay, how fucking bad could it be? And that loading that sandbag outside, oh my God, it was worse than my workout. Like,
really?
Yeah, because I was doing it in between my workout and I finally was just fucking spent. You have to fucking pack the sand in. Like we were beating the fuck out of the sand in the sandbag.
Really?
Yeah. Because you have to pack it down because it's rated for 350 pounds. So it goes all the way to the fucking top.
Yeah.
And the sand has to be packed in. So you have to pack it in and you're trying to like lift it up and fucking push it down so the sand sinks and like packs in better. And yeah, it was me and Alex and a couple other people from LB, Will and Mandy, Alex's wife, that were just sitting there fucking getting after this. Yeah, I was fucking sweating more doing the sandbag. And then I'm like, dude, Alex lifted it yesterday at the gym. He put the sandbag to shoulder, 350 pounds, dude. Like I tried to put it on this cart. Fuck no. It's like a different type of strength.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I don't get is like I have a video of Carly at one of her competitions where she was doing stones.
Mm-hmm.
She got up to the 300-pound stone and she got it up on her legs, you know, and Carly weighs what, 130?
Yeah.
Maybe 150
in that
like
range.
Yeah, but she had it on her lap and she arches her back, gets it up. She's supposed to put it on top of that platform, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and she couldn't quite get it there. She was stuck. Boom. But she's holding it and she kept pushing and they called time on her. It was the last stone she had to do. And they called time and she kept fighting with it. And they're like, just drop it. Just drop it. She's like, no, she was so determined to try and get it up there. And the guy's like, just save your strength. And she finally dropped it, but she was like determined to try and get this 300-pound stone up. And here she is, like half the weight of it. She's just a freak.
She's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
She's on a different mentality than I've hardly met any of those type of people, but she's just like, go get her at everything. And she wants to be the best at everything. And it's interesting.
It's kind of maddening.
It's fucking craziness, dude. Because some of them don't match up. Like she wants to do it's not bikini, it's a physique that she does.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then she wants to do a strongman meet like a month later. And it's like, those don't necessarily match up because
they don't support one another.
But she's like, fuck it. Well, I need to do both, you know?
She's always been just a real weird fucking, like just.
She gets after it.
I don't even want to say goal setting, just challenge. She's just always there for the challenge.
Yeah.
Like, what can I do?
She likes to compete.
Yeah. Like she stepped in when we did the Ruck 100 and helped out. She, you know, yeah, we've done rucks before too with her, where we go do rucks and we do like every mile you have to do like a some sort of challenge, you know, and it's fun. Like, but yeah, she's always down for anything physical,
dude. And that's what's like the top people. That's what's crazy because usually the top people in the sport, like in a sport, you kind of have to be that way.
Yeah,
unless you're a genetic freak, because there are some genetic freaks that are just like, meh. Like, I'll go get it. Like, I've met those people that, like, I know fucking brothers that are just kind of like, meh, I just don't really follow a program. I lift whenever I feel like, I do whatever I want. And they can fucking deadlift like over 700 pounds, you know, do all this crazy shit. And they're like, not really trying that hard.
Yeah. Just doing whatever.
Yeah. And there's like athletes like that too. And that you'll hear even on the news that they're like, they didn't even watch a game film. They would go out and just fucking compete. And
be the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, who was it? Johnny Manziel? I don't remember. It was someone who wouldn't watch a single bit of.
Manziel was one of them, but it bit him in his ass when he went to the NFL because all the fame and glory kind of got to him. But like in college, he just balled out.
Yeah, didn't watch any film.
No, party on the weekends, fly out, party with LeBron James, like selling merchandise, memorabilia.
Yep,
dude, that documentary was sick.
Yeah, it was.
It was fucking sick.
It was, dude. It's ridiculous, though. I feel like, you know, maybe there was something behind it because now you got the NIL deal. You have all these guys entering the portal, all these guys entering the trade portal.
It's fucking
nonstop.
It's kind of
they're doing it for money,
dude.
because basically these colleges are now able to offer them money through their booster programs.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's $1 million if you come play for us.
I know.
And so that's why everybody, dude, we lost, what's his name? McAllister.
Yeah. Boise State.
We just lost our QB.
Mm-hmm.
He just entered the fucking portal.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that all over, because these top ranked schools that have big funding behind them can now cherry pick.
And it's like, it's great for the athlete, like, get your money from your name or whatever, but it's kind of fucking up college sports.
It is.
Or at least college football. It's like
100%. It's making it so it's just going to keep the top teams at the top. Like, even the NFL has salary caps, right? So it's like, hey, you're capped. You can't, like, college doesn't have to really face that now, right? When you think about it.
Yeah. If I was good, like, think you went to Boise State, you're kind of an unknown recruit, or you're like a 2-star, 3-star recruit. You didn't really get recruited by the big schools, SEC schools, because that's where the money's at, is the SEC schools.
Yeah.
And then you ball out your first year, and then you get a couple calls from them, and they're like, you want to make some money? Because you ain't making money at fucking Boise State. Yeah. Mountain West don't have that fucking money. And you're like, okay, see you later. I'm going to go make my fucking money. Because who knows if I'm going to make money in the NFL? Who knows if
I'm going to go to the NFL.
Right? I'm going to make my money now. Right. You know?
Yeah, it's horrible. I personally don't like it, but we'll see what happens. Like, right now, I know that there's like a high school student hasn't even played a down of college football. And he's already got, like, he's basically going to make $3 million, and he hasn't even touched the ball once.
Yeah. I've been watching the portal shit, because I saw, like, Ohio State's quarterback just entered the portal. He was the quarterback this year. I saw a post about Michigan State. All 3 of their quarterbacks have is in the transfer portal, so they don't have any quarterbacks.
Right. Like,
it's fucking maddening and madness, because you're not going to know what, other than the big schools like the Alabamas, Georgias. Hey, shout out to fucking Washington for being in the playoffs. Shit. What the fuck? Where'd they come from?
They destroyed us.
God damn. Yeah.
They destroyed us.
And that's another story. Did you hear, like, been watching the whole Florida State debacle?
Mm-mm.
Florida State won the ACC, and they're the first Big 5 school team ever to be, since playoffs have been around, to not be invited to the college football playoffs. They were undefeated, and they won the ACC, and they're not going. And it's because the fucking color, I guess it's not how your record is. It's how
strength of schedule and stuff.
No, well, it's the strength of your team. They want to see good games. So these fucking people that pick who's going to be in the playoffs are actually picking your roster versus other rosters. It's not how you did. And it's fucking bullshit, because
that kind of becomes opinionated, right?
Florida State's quarterback got hurt. They're like 5-star quarterback or whatever, who's a fucking monster. And that's why the analyst or whoever was picking said that they're not in the college football playoffs, is because their roster won't stack up against the fucking Washington or Michigan. And it's fucking, let them play, dude. They went undefeated. Like,
right.
Then it's just to show that it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how, like, you did everything that you could.
They were resilient, had a backup QB, still kicked ass.
I'm rooting for them. Like, I would root for them.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see the underdogs go after
100%.
it. Of course. Yeah. But just bullshit. Because they don't think it's going to be a good game, they won't allow them to be in the playoffs.
So it becomes more about ratings than it does.
Because right? You know who took over Florida State?
Who?
Alabama. Alabama got picked over Florida State to be in the playoffs.
And they have 1 loss, 2 losses.
I think they've won. I think they have 1 loss. Yeah. 2. Was it 2 losses? No, they beat Georgia in the SEC championship.
Yeah,
I think they have, but they lost to Georgia or some. I don't know. Yeah. Some fucking shit team. But yeah, everyone's like, oh, of course Alabama's in the fucking playoffs, and like Nick Saban. They make a lot of money. They get a lot of good ratings. Everyone's on the Bama train, you know?
Roll Tide.
Yeah. So you have what? Washington, Michigan, Bama, and who else is in it?
I honestly, I haven't been following a whole lot of college football lately.
Yeah.
Just outside of Michigan, and them coming back, finally getting their head coach back.
Harbaugh,
yeah. Fucking after 2 suspensions.
Yeah.
So, That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, root for Washington. Oh, Texas is in it.
Texas,
which will be cool. But I think they just put a poll out to see who everyone's rooting for, and the majority of the U.S. is rooting for Washington to win the playoffs.
Good. Yeah, Washington had a killer team this year, man. Like they destroyed it.
What are they in the Pac-12? Pac-10? I don't know. I can't. I'm talking to the wrong person.
Yeah. No, but it was just like I don't know. The game against us, boys.
I'm not really a big Boise State fan. Unfortunately, I know I'm going to get crucified on this podcast from everyone that lives in Boise because this is really all that we have in the Steelheads. But I don't know, dude. Like I've seen the games and I've gone to the tailgates and everything, but I've also gone to the tailgates of big ACC games.
Yeah.
Because I went to Virginia Tech, and I'm not trying to fucking put my nose up and be like, but like, dude,
night and day difference.
Dude, it's fucking nuts, man. Yeah. Like, it's fucking I don't know. It was madness in Blacksburg when we played big teams.
Yeah.
Especially when we were like top 5 in the country.
Yeah.
It was fucking chaos.
Pure chaos.
And maybe that's the case because I didn't see Boise State when they were top 10 with like Kellen Moore as quarterback.
Oh,
right?
Dude, it was awesome.
It was probably nuts down in Boise.
Yeah.
You know, like, so maybe, but we've just fallen. And it's just hard. Like, as we talked about with the NIL deals, how do you bring a Boise State team in the Mountain West that's not making from donors really any money compared to the fucking Texases and the, you know, because they were like, even that, to bring back that documentary about Johnny Manziel, what blew my mind was the amount of money that they made that year that Johnny Manziel won the championship.
Yeah, compared to any other year.
It was like quadrupled.
Yeah. It was nuts.
It's like 4x, 5x.
They fucking made.
It's like almost $1 billion, I want to say.
To make a new stadium and shit.
Which was fucking from one person.
Yeah.
You know?
One person bringing all the hype. Yeah, it's going to make it near impossible for Boise State. But what's interesting is, like, for those of you who do follow Boise State, or if you don't, but like, yeah, they ended up firing their head coach.
Yeah.
Like 3 weeks ago, whatever. I think it was like a month and a half ago. They fired their head coach. But that's the excuse he kept talking about, right? Was, well, we can't compete. All these schools have the bigger money. Everybody's entering the transport portal. I can't have a good team. And he was making excuses. Finally, they fucking cut him because I guess it was really bad in the locker room too. Like, he was just not a good head coach, which is surprising to see or hear, because like you see him on TV, he always seemed like even keel, but I guess it was pretty rough.
Yeah. And he's like one of the youngest college football coaches in the country. Yeah. He was like 35, I want to say, or something like that.
Yeah. So they fired his ass and made the offensive coordinator head coach. And then all of a sudden they were fucking winning, kicking ass. And they even won the bowl game.
Yeah.
Against, who do we play? Was it
Nevada?
No, I don't remember. It was San Diego State. God, why can't I not remember? But now we're playing, or we didn't. It wasn't a bowl game. It was our Mountain West division. Yeah. So now we at least get to go play in a bowl game against UCLA, which
we're playing against UCLA.
Playing against UCLA.
Oh, that would be a good game.
And it's like, what the fuck happened? Like, yeah. So we get to play in SoFi Stadium.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I'd love to go see that game, but it just goes to show, like, you can't just make excuses, and this is the life it is, and you can still make a difference. And that offensive coordinator stepped in, and like, all the players being interviewed love him to death. They're like, he's the best head coach, and they want him. They just named him the new head coach of Boise State.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did, like, officially? I think a week ago or so. And he just stepped in and turned the program around in like a week's time frame. Just fucking,
it's so crazy. It's crazy that one mentality can change everything.
Yeah.
Or like not even that, like getting a negative mentality out of a locker room or out of a business or something. And sometimes you just need change.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what sucks is Boise State realized it too. So they fired him, and they still have to pay him for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
They have to pay him out on his contract. So they're losing millions of dollars. But, you know, they're like, yeah, it's time. We got to move forward and get him out. Yeah, it sucks because I liked him from what I saw, but just knowing some people that are like trainers on the team and stuff, and hearing like the horror stories, I was like, oh shit, like I had no idea.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah,
that's not a good reflection of what the team is.
Yeah,
dude.
So we'll see. So looking forward to bigger things next year for Boise State, but yeah, if we can keep the team healthy and keep the team here,
keep the team. Yeah, that's the big thing. Like, I don't know. It'd be interesting to sit down and talk to someone, even bring someone on the podcast that like is on Boise State football or some like some person that can talk to us about like what they are doing, because they know they can't compete money wise. So how are you incentivizing people to come here? Yeah. Obviously, like it's Boise, like it's beautiful. It's the environment's awesome. Like the school is fucking sick. It's in the middle of the city. It's a safe city. There's a lot to do. Like, but people be like, "Nah, I want that money, bitch."
Yeah,
I want that
makes it tough, man.
I want that money.
Yeah, because you know, are we really able to show people like, hey, you're gonna get drafted in the NFL? And we have players in the NFL. But
we had what was the last? Well, we had Scott. Is it Sky Moore that's on the Chiefs? That was a wide receiver for Boise State.
Yeah, I don't know.
Want to say Sky Moore? It's one of the fucking wide receivers for the Chiefs went from Boise State. You guys used to have the Philadelphia Eagles drafted the running back from Boise State in the first round. I want to say, and he
had his jersey.
Why
am I drawing a blank?
Yeah. Then Kellen Moore, obviously, and
goddamn, why can't I not even think of the running back?
I can't remember. I had him in fantasy too. This was a while ago.
No, he was good. And then we have, and I'm drawing blanks on names all around, but we had the wide receiver that just went to the Bills too, and he's like their number 2 wide receiver now.
He's doing good.
Number 1, he's killing it.
We do develop wide receivers.
We have linebackers playing for Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, Van Der Esch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got so yeah, we have quite a few good.
He's an Idaho boy.
Yeah.
He's from Idaho, which is cool. And I guess he would fucking tear it up in high school.
Yeah.
Which is
That'd be cool to see. But that's the interesting thing is you see the different level of football. Have you ever played against an NFL player?
Yes.
Have we ever talked about this?
Yes, I have. And it is fucking crazy.
Right. Just the level of separation of talent that they have. Yeah. Because I remember when I was in high school, I played against Ryan Leaf.
Yeah, the number one, well, the biggest bust of all time, but the number 1 quarterback of all time.
It came down between him and Peyton Manning. Who was going to go number 1 in the draft?
Ryan Leaf.
Yeah, Ryan Leaf. He's from Montana, and I played against him in high school, and I'd never seen anything like it. I was like, this quarterback is fucking unreal.
How many
touchdowns
he would take off
scrambling? Like he could throw the ball. He had a cannon on him, but if he had to scramble, he would scramble, and he would run over like our middle linebackers, like just run them over. Boom. Like put them on their backs. Like, what the fuck? This guy was insane. Huge size, strength, arm capability, and just like, wow. And they beat us. I think it was like 72 to, I think we had 1 touchdown, 72-7. Like, what the fuck just happened? And then you see this guy and it's like, oh, but like you said, became the biggest bust, like made it to the top echelon and completely flopped in the NFL and became a nobody overnight. Now I think he's in prison.
Ryan?
Yeah, I have to look it up. If he's not in prison now, he got out.
Dude,
but he was selling drugs. He was selling steroids. He was a high school football coach, and he was getting steroids for his kids and pumping them full of juice and stuff, which makes me wonder. It's like, okay, was this what he was doing in high school then? Is this why he was fucking just killing us? Let's see. Ryan Leaf.
What's he doing?
What happened to Ryan Leaf? Let's just Google Ryan Leaf prison. Oh, yep, that's a top.
That's a hit.
2014, Today reported Leaf had been released from prison in Montana. So he's out. He's out now, but yeah.
He hosts a radio show and works as a college football analyst on television.
On television? Get the fuck out.
Get Ryan Leaf in here, dude.
Holy shit. For mental health behavior wide. All right. So Leaf's NFL career came to an end. He returned to Montana, quickly developed a substance addiction. He began taking Vicodin.
Damn, dude.
Leaf explained he initially went to doctors to get pills. Well, what happened to the... Oh, it was drug charges, but I thought he was... He was breaking into homes and stealing medication.
Dude, you would have to be a little fucked up. Like, you're the number 1 draft pick in the NFL, going to make millions of dollars. There's so much fucking pressure on you as a quarterback to succeed, and you shit the bed.
Yeah.
For one way or for one reason or another.
So I take that back. I lied. I said that he was, so I must have got stuff miswired. Someone else I'm thinking of was getting steroids for their high school team.
Okay.
So it looks like it was all about painkillers and Vicodin and shit and breaking into homes and stealing fucking medication and stuff. But still, like, you have that type of dramatic fall off. Sounds like he's doing good. It says in 2023, he's the CEO of a consulting company and he's done multiple speaking engagements. So kudos to him for trying to turn it around. But but yeah, I played against him in high school and it was scary.
Yeah, I got to watch Terrell Pryor play. I never played against him. He played what's it called? Single A ball at Jeanette.
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania, but we watched him and it was like the WPIAL championship. Before you go to states, you go to the like a WPIAL championship against the local schools. And then if you win that, then you go to states and then you can. And I remember he had 7 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah.
In the WPIAL championship, we were watching him it was Heinz Field at the time. Now it's Acrisure Stadium. But he was like a god against little kids.
Yeah.
He would take the ball and either he would throw it or he would run it and no one could catch him and he would fucking do unbelievable things. Like,
yeah.
And then I remember watching our rival high school in high school was Upper St. Clair, and Sean Lee played for Upper St. Clair when I was a freshman and he was a senior. No, I was in 8th grade. He was a senior. So my friends, you remember Sean Lee? He was the middle linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. For a long time. I think he's like, I don't know if he's Hall of Fame, but he played for like a decade or more in the NFL. And I remember talking to my buddies like, yo, how was it? And it's like, dude, it's like hitting a Mack truck at middle linebacker. Like he would fucking destroy people.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we would play like some linemen that I don't think they ever went to the NFL, but I remember my senior year, we made the playoffs first time in like 4 years or whatever. And we played the team that ended up going and winning the state championships that year. It was called North Allegheny, but they had his name like the Kugler brothers, but I forget what the guy's first name was, but Mr. Kugler was the lineman coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the time.
Yeah.
He was like 6'6".
Yeah.
His kids were all like
giants,
humongous. They were all going to D1 schools. Their line was just incredible. And then they had this little running back who was like 5'5", and you couldn't see him through the linemen because they were so fucking big. They ended up beating us. But yeah, it was interesting to play against D1 or NFL caliber
players. Yeah,
they were just different and just genetic talent. Because we worked our fucking ass off, dude. Like we in high school,
we were fucking
god damn, we would kill ourselves. And dude, you would still play teams that would just run. Not even teams, just players in general. They could run circles around your team. Didn't matter how much you fucking trained.
Yeah, that's what it doesn't. Like you said, I think some of it's genetics. And I know people, you don't want to fucking talk about genetics can be overcome and stuff like that. But there are some people that just have that natural talent. You can't dispose of it. Like again, I'm going back to Justin, who's on our team. Captain America Lives, right? Justin Rogers. And I remember he shared a video of him at 13. Bench pressing 225 for reps.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? And he had a chest on him at 13 years old.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? You know, and I see that video, it's like that. Yeah. That's not normal. You know?
Yeah. That old adage of like talent or hard work can beat genetics
and
whatever.
I agree with that.
To an
extent. But yeah, exactly. Because if these people have that type of genetics, and they start off with that, and they're putting in just as hard a work as you, how are you ever going to catch
fucked
them?
If you don't have the genetics and they have the work ethic, even if you're the hardest worker. And I'm talking about sports, like I'm talking about like even just powerlifting in general. Like even if you work just as hard as these guys that are, and you're the hardest worker in the fucking gym, like the genetics are going to beat you, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, it just is what it is. Like, dude, like the top person, like I've been fucking working out since 2000. I've been powerlifting since like 2011. And it's like, dude, the top guy in my fucking sport or my weight class looks like he's chiseled out of fucking granite, dude.
Yeah.
The guy's squatting almost 800 pounds, dude.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
He's not on steroids. It's like, dude, his genetics are just freakish.
Yeah. I know, dude. People are probably gonna.
The people are gonna freak out. I'm interested to see about. Yeah, I am interested to see about the comments. But
we'd love your take on it too, right? Like, we're not saying right or wrong, but yeah, I've had that discussion before, and even Chris Gethin talks about, like, genetics. You can't use that as an excuse, and no, you can't use that as an excuse. But like you said, there's definitely a level there, especially when you see some of these kids at the younger ages and what they're capable of.
Yeah.
It's difficult to compete with, right? I feel in bodybuilding, maybe it's a little bit different, like, because you know where your areas of weakness are and you work on those. But if you're competing against someone in powerlifting or, like you said, a sport that's genetically gifted from a young age, that becomes a hard barrier to fucking close in on.
Well, I think bodybuilding might even be crazier than powerlifting in the genetic aspect, because there are people that can put on more muscle and just look better.
Yep. But I feel like in bodybuilding, though, it's like you focus on your areas of weakness, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in bodybuilding too, it's also a sport that's just plagued with, extracurricular fucking help.
Yeah.
If you will. So a lot of people are doing that. So it's really hard. Again, that's where it becomes blurred genetics. You have steroids, but I feel like in bodybuilding, it's like you can, especially if you have a coach, you can find where your areas of weakness are, what muscle groups you need to work on.
Yeah.
And you just work on those, right?
Yeah.
So it's easier to close that gap. But you're right. Like, genetics still plays a factor in it. And so I just feel like Chris Gethin, what he's talking about it more from a line of bodybuilding and right, and muscle, and but in sports, that's different.
Yeah. And like the biggest example now that I'm thinking about it is fucking strongman, dude, with genetics. Like, dude, if you're not over 6 feet tall, like, there's really no way that you can win the world's strongest man. There have been a couple people that are under, but he's over 6 feet.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't look it.
Yep. He there are a couple, but like a lot of the things is height. Like, there's a lot of height events, and
like
you can pack on more mass.
Yeah.
You can pack on way more mass the taller you are.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, if like Thor, for instance, or someone that can pack on 400 fucking pounds, he's like 6'8", 6'9", something like that, or maybe even 7 feet tall. And it's like, okay, he has the advantage of that height and all of the like stone events or anything of the lifting events, and he can pack on a fuck ton of fucking mass on him because he's so tall. Like, dude, if I weighed 400 pounds at 5'7", it'd be a fucking bowling ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd have to roll me through. I wouldn't be able to walk through the fucking door.
Yeah, you're definitely not getting that fucking.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna get that way.
Yeah.
So, but then and again, with strongman, it's like, if you don't do steroids, you're not gonna be the world's strongest man. I don't know if there's ever been a person that hasn't been on some sort of something that could be considered what's the word I'm looking for? Enhancement.
Okay.
Like enhancement, like even if it's TRT or something, but for the most part, and I think that goes with bodybuilding too, especially when you get into the pro bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's anyone that's ever won the Olympia that hasn't been on fucking steroids.
No, that's why I was saying, like, in that industry, it's like, it's plagued. You have to, if you want to compete,
you have to. That's what strongman is too. And that's,
I know Carly's she claims that she's
a fucking genetic freak, though.
Yeah, she is. She goes right back to what we were talking about, right? Like, she's always been strong. Even if you look at her photos of her back in high school, you could still tell she had more muscle definition than most girls.
Yeah.
Just has higher levels of testosterone just naturally, right?
Yeah.
Even like motherfucking Girl Power, who's on
Kristen. God
Kristen,
damn. Like, she was fucking she's yoked out of her mind.
And you look at same thing. And back in high school, she was a runner, and she
really still had a fucking 8-pack.
She still had, yeah. So it goes back to that genetic gift. And Carly has, in fact, I think there's a new strongman division opening up that is drug tested.
Ooh.
And Carly's going to move to it, because right now she is competing not on the same level, because she's competing against girls who are on gear, and she refuses to. But she can still compete and still hang with them, because she's just, genetic freak.
I remember that I was talking to Miranda Cup the other day, and that's Alex's wife. She competes in strongman. She owns ILB with us, and we were talking. She's getting ready for nationals and USS nationals, and we're talking about the events. And she's like, Nick, do you know what she has to do deadlift for reps?
Yeah.
She's like, do you know what the weight is for my deadlift for reps is for female at, I think she competes at like the 130s or something like that. I'm like, no, what it is? What is it? She's like, it's 350 pounds.
Yeah.
She's like, I've never even hit 350 pounds before. And she's like, it's frustrating for me because it feels like they are pushing us to use substances, because the majority of people that are going to just a national event that's not even a pro event, they're not pros.
Yeah.
They're like, they can't hit the 350 pounds. So like, what do you expect me to do?
Yeah.
Like, is this just, and it's like that culture then. And there have been a lot of people that I know that have gone to that, to steroids in strongman, because it's like, I can't compete otherwise against these people. Yeah. Like, you're putting me backing me in a corner because there is no tested, at least not right now, there's no tested federation.
But as far as Carly's telling me, it's coming, and I think that would be cool to see, because then it kind of levels the playing field. And you're right, like right now it goes back to views. Like they want an exciting event. People want to see heavy lifting, and so they're pushing the envelope, and unfortunately it's going to force people to have to stick themselves with a needle.
Yeah, and it's getting, and if you don't know what you're doing correctly, like I'm not bastardizing. I'm not putting down steroids. Like of course I've never done them before, but if you're going to do them, obviously get a doctor.
Yeah.
And go through those right ways, because I'm not going to tell you not to do them. Like, it is what it is. It's your decision ultimately. But yeah, do it. There's a correct way of doing it, and don't just fucking go on the internet and fucking poke yourself and read Reddit forums. And, get your blood work tested, because I do know, unfortunately, I know a lot of people that have fucked themselves up from doing it too. Like, almost have died because they do it, or like there's females that I know that can't have babies because they've done it wrong.
Fuck their hormones up,
and it's so fucked, and then it's like they'll never get those hormones back in equilibrium.
Yeah.
So they have to take some sort of pill or something to get it back, and it's like that's for the rest of their life. Yeah. And then you hear the females that have the deeper voices and all that kind of stuff, and
you can tell when a female is like, they always have that raspy voice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've talked to them, and we've like talked candidly to them about it, and there are some that are embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
Because of their voice,
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But that's like there's what are you willing to do in the sport? And there's people that are, I don't care about the consequences. Let's fucking go. I want to be the best, whatever it takes.
And save money.
Oh, it's so expensive. It's so expensive.
Well, no, like you said, like you should do it the right way. So, so people are like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, but they're just going to go poke themselves rather than doing it the right way and hiring a doctor to do blood work and stuff, because blood work is expensive.
Blood work's expensive. Doing steroids is expensive.
Yeah,
it's even TRT is fucking expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I would, if you're going to go down that route. And this is me personally, because people aren't going to fucking listen to me. But if I was going to go down that route, I personally would go and get my test levels tested to see if I could just enhance those first and go the TRT route. And then I've never been like, I want to use steroids. I need to get, I've always been under the impression that I don't know if there is I think there are genetic limits to everyone, right? And some people have a greater threshold for like strength genetics. Some people can get strong as fuck faster than other people, right? And I've been in this sport for so long, and I still don't think, for me personally, I've hit my genetic threshold for strength. So I'm just interested, for me, like, dude, where is my natural threshold, And maybe one day, because I still think I'm still hitting PRs and doing stuff. Maybe one day I'll hit it and be like, okay. And it might be because I hit fucking 36, 37, whatever the case may be. My testosterone starts coming down, and then it's harder to build muscle and strength. So it's like, okay. And I want to feel better.
Yeah.
Like I'll take some TRT.
Yeah.
But I don't want to push that button, because once you push the button of TRT, you're on it for the rest of your life.
Right. Yeah. Don't do it yet.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, shoot. So now we're going to have some guests on here in the near future. We're going to set it up for the next one. Hopefully we'll have, we'll have some people. I'm not going to tell who.
Yeah.
We got some good guests planned for you guys.
Yeah.
As always, we appreciate you guys liking, the follow, the comments, especially, right? So please leave your comments. We're going to share them. We're going to discuss them. And if you find any value in these podcasts, please give us a subscribe. We appreciate you.
Yeah. And if you can, because I want to bring out this question. I want to see what your guys' response are, and I'd like to talk about it next week. Does hard work beat genetics? And in what examples can you give that? When genetics works hard as well. Or just talk. I'm just interested to see what your guys' thoughts are.
Yeah, it's controversial conversation. I know there's people on both sides of it. So
yeah,
and we're a mixed bag too. But yeah, it's interesting. Let's see what people say.
Yeah.
All right, people. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Black Sheep Narrative out.
Bye.